Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. Today I want to talk about a modern indie game that you likely haven't heard of, but should absolutely be checking out, and that is Mudrox Games' Floomy, on Steam Early Access for $3. This was developed by a friend of mine from high school. I saw him updating on his Facebook page this new game that he was developing. It looked really intriguing, and when I saw the price point, I knew I had to jump in, and I had a really spectacular time. So much so that I reached out to the developer and told him how much I enjoyed the game, and talked with him a little bit about it, and got to learn more about how this game was developed and what it is to this person that developed it. I was just really impressed overall, and I wanted to tell you why you should be playing Floomy. So first and foremost, this was developed by one person over the course of 3 years. Aside from some of the art that was done by a co-artist, everything else was done by this one person, from the code to the music, and it is put together spectacularly. This is a blend of platforming that's tough as nails, with roguelite elements and an arcade-style loop. You'll be playing through 26 levels with 3 lives to work with. If you lose all 3 lives, you lose your progress and you start over at level 1 all over again. You'll acquire gems throughout each level, either by just getting them on the level or by defeating certain enemies. And you'll spend these gems as currency in a shop to get either cosmetics, like skins for your character, your little pink bunny character that you play as. You can get little hats for him. But more importantly, you can also get upgrades for this character that will persist throughout each subsequent run. Very roguelite, which is fantastic because you will be needing these upgrades if you want to survive this brutally difficult platformer. The platforming is very akin to the SNES style of platforming, very Donkey Kong Country-esque in a lot of ways. You'll start off pretty easy, pretty simple. You have stagnant platforms. You have basic enemies that you can bounce off of that respawn after a little bit. You have indicators with the gems telling you where you should be jumping, where you should be going, and you reach a little flag at the end of each level to signify that you have beaten it and you move on to the next one. But like I said, you only have 3 lives to get through all these levels. So as the levels increase, you also have the difficulty bumping up, with new mechanics being introduced as well. Little groupings of levels will teach you the basic mechanics of the game, give you little basic enemies, basic design choices, like some of the platforms are stagnant, some of them are little pink weightlifting guys that when you stand on, they get all strained and they start pumping much faster and then they disappear after a little bit, telling you that this is very much going to be a falling platform or a disappearing platform. I love how well this game teaches you the mechanics of the game without having to state it in text on the screen. It is very well done, and I applaud the developer for making such a great choice in its indication. The gem placement is just really beautifully done. You have some mechanics that are introduced later on where you can jump on the same enemy multiple times. And it is, again, indicated by the gem placement. There's a big chasm. You know you can't cross it by jumping on this guy once, but you can tell that this guy you can bounce on multiple times. You have other enemies that will kind of a vacuum trail that you can get sucked into them, and you shoot out the other side. You have to time your presses. You have to make sure that you are 100% precise on this game, or you will be losing lives. It is very difficult to get through this game without losing a single life. In fact, I have not done it yet without the help of some upgrades. So let's talk about some of the roguelite upgrades that you can get. One of the early ones that I really wanted to get was the float mechanic. You could press jump and then press it again while you're descending, and you could float for a little bit of time to kind of even out the jump. If you made a mistake, you could use that to kind of counteract the bad platforming that you did, which is really helpful early on. But the best one that I encountered was the tough skin upgrade. This one gave you an extra hit in every single level. So you get it once per level. You don't lose your life. Instead, you get some iframes, some invincibility frames, and then you can persist throughout the level and hopefully finish it to make it through the level without losing a life, which is really important because 26 levels with only 3 lives with platforming this precise is really difficult. In my completed run, I don't think I lost a life, but I got hit 5 or 6 times throughout my run. That's how essential this was for this game. Now I plan on going through and beating the game without taking a single hit. I want to see how precise I can be in this game, because this game is so well done. The platforming is so well done that any mistake you make is truly purely your own. The only mechanical issue that I ran into was some of the pink platforms that disappear. Occasionally I would fall right through them. Very few times. I think 1 in probably 80 times I fell straight through a platform. And it was a little weird. I talked to the developer about it. He's very aware of it and his plans on fixing that in a future update that I'm guessing will come out pretty soon. Other than that, mechanically, this game is just really sound, really perfectly executed. And that's a hard thing to do, especially when you're doing something this precise. But I have to applaud the developer for putting together something so well done. I love how the mechanics mesh in this game. I love even the little music that he implemented into the game. And the first grouping of levels, it's very chill, melodic, really inviting, and helps you to just kind of get used to the gameplay itself. As you progress, you'll get into new areas with new backgrounds and new music that kind of ramps up the intensity or changes the tone of the game, and it will shift multiple times as you progress toward the final level. It's really well done. It gives you a nice shake-up so you're not listening to the same thing over and over again. I really like how the music and the backgrounds are implemented into this game. So I just really can't say enough good things about Floomy. I'm really excited about what the developer is going to do in the future. He's already developing a new title, I'm pretty sure, and he's working on updates for this game with new content as well. I'm super excited to see what he's going to do for the final release of this game. I love Floomy. Again, it's only $3. You can find it in the description linked below. I highly recommend you go check this out. If you like platformers, if you like roguelites, this is the game for you. I cannot say enough good things about this. I'm going to give Floomy a platinum rank, which is my highest rank on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.